Hi everyone, my name is Takhsh. I'm an immigration attorney from Chicago. I've been doing this line of work for over 10 years, helping individuals and families maneuver their immigration journeys. In today's video, we will be talking about the importance of avoiding overstaying your visa or otherwise violating its terms and conditions. And so the reason this is important is because there are some dire consequences, some negative consequences to you overstaying your duration of status or violating your visa. First and foremost, let's understand what we mean by overstaying your duration of status. When an individual is presenting herself, let's say at the airport, and wishes to enter the United States, the CBP officer, the Customs and Border Protection officer, is going to give that person a duration of status, lawful status, within which they can lawfully remain in the United States. That's what we are referring to when we say duration of status. So for example, when it comes to the visitor visa, generally that is about 6 months. When we are talking about violating the terms and conditions of one's visa, that's a little bit different. How so? Well, let's say you have an individual who is here on an F1 visa, a student visa, and the person falls on hard times financially. And so they decide to drive Uber, as an example, to make ends meet. Well, the F1 visa generally does not allow for that person to work while on that status. And so from the time that they have begun to work, they are now in violation of their status. And now we will talk about why that is important. From the moment the person has either overstayed their duration of status or otherwise violated the terms and conditions of their visa, they begin to be out of status and accrue unlawful presence. The importance of unlawful presence cannot be overstated. Why? Well, here's why. When the person accrues more than 6 months of unlawful presence and departs the US, that person has triggered the 3-year bar. That person cannot come back to the US for 3 years. If, on the other hand, the person has accrued 12 months or longer of unlawful presence and has departed the United States, that person cannot come back for 10 years. That's referred to as the 10-year bar. As a general rule, the way to avoid these negative consequences that we just talked about is to file an application to change or to extend your status prior to the expiration of your current status. Now, in some situations, it doesn't matter if you are or are not in status. For example, when you are in a committed relationship with a US citizen, you are getting married, and that person intends to file a petition for you, the only consideration really that USCIS takes into account is whether you entered lawfully. Whether you are or are not in status does not apply to that particular category. But, for example, if you are applying from a B1, B2 visitor visa to an F1, it very much matters whether you are or are not in status at the time of the filing of the application. And as long as you have that application pending, just as we talked about, you will not accrue unlawful presence. I hope you found this video helpful. I know it's a lot of information to take in, but as always, feel free to reach out to me by leaving a comment below or reaching out to us on our website. We're always happy to hear from you. Until next time, please be well.